Hey, what is going on you guys, it's Epic here and welcome back to a new video on the channel. And I asked you all on Twitter to give me your burning questions for Wonderlands, and given what I have in the early access demo provided to me by 2K, I'm going to test out some of your questions and see if I can give you the answers you're looking for. Now, while I can't answer all of them, and some people I just can't even answer because I don't have access to certain questions, I did get a whole bunch of things written down that I'd like to talk about today, so let's get right into it. Abiyawa asks, how's performance on console, solo and co-op? And then for number 2 they ask, crossplay on launch, and for number 3, are you able to respawn bosses / mini bosses without save quit to farm them with a group, or can you back out to a lobby with your group? Now, while I'm unable to answer question 1 and 2, I can somewhat answer number 3. In Wonderlands, it did seem as though in my experiences, bosses and mini bosses cannot be respawned without a save quit farm. However, normal sequences of enemy spawns do respawn after a little while of just running around and doing other things, this being stuff like goblins and maybe trolls and whatnot. But as for unique enemies and bosses, it does seem like the old save quit farming method returns here. Next up, Lewis asks, performance compared to BL3 on day 1 in its current state. Is ray tracing and DLSS in the game, and are there any returning weapon types for particular manufacturers, for example Hyperion pistols and Bandit SMGs? Is there a TVHM mode? Alien barrels? What are they now? Boy oh boy, that is a big question, but I'm going to try to answer as much of it as I can. So in regards to performance, and highlighted in my early access review of Wonderlands, which you can check out in the description down below, I did note that Wonderlands did indeed have some performance issues in terms of crashing and the occasional stuttering issue. I will however say that the game does run a lot better than Borderlands 3 currently does for me. While it's not a huge difference, it does feel like Wonderlands at times does run pretty well. As for ray tracing and DLSS, it does not appear that these are currently present in the game, or at least what I got to play. When it comes to returning weapon types, you may find some weapons comparable to things like a stagecoach, and as for TVHM and alien barrels, I'm currently unsure on those, though I'm almost certain that alien barrels do not make a return in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Next up, Damien asks, does sliding feel more fluid in the combat loop than with Borderlands 3? Because I loved the slide anointments and was annoyed when they were removed. Now, when it comes to sliding, the truth is that it really does not feel much different at all. I'm also yet to find any enchantments relating to sliding, so I'm sorry Damien, but there's really not much I can answer there. Although for the most part, in terms of just how the movement feels, yes, I do think sliding feels exactly like it feels in Borderlands 3, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for you. Next up, Theo asks, is there going to be a close contact melee build instead of just, quote, melee builds in Borderlands 3, of course referring to stuff like the face puncher? And I believe so, yes. While most melee is often made viable through methods of intervention with guns or spells, most melee encounters do take place through getting up close and personal 90% of the time. So hopefully that answers your question. Continuing on, Crusher asks, does the quality of life changes made in BO3 return in Wonderlands? For example, buying ammo at the press of a button, sliding and mantling. And the short answer is yes, but the long answer is a big double yes. With the addition of new quality of life changes such as the health vendors no longer charging you to refill your health, and the ability to slide, punch and slam chests open, the quality of life changes from 3 return better than ever in Wonderlands. Moving on, Cantrama asks, will they give us completely new items altogether? No repeats. And while this is a hard question to answer since most items will most likely be in that legendary rarity, so far I have not seen a single returning item in the 26 to 8 hours I have spent in Wonderlands. Poisoned Art wants to know, how is the exploration, be it finding treasure, hidden bosses, or anything else? Have fun and hope it's amazing. Well, first of all, thank you so much Poisoned Art, and I can answer your question. The exploration in Wonderlands is amazing, and it's arguably one of the coolest parts of the game in my opinion. Going off on those whimsical adventures to find things such as lucky dice, puzzles, poems, it makes you feel like you're watching a mini treasure hunt play out, and it's so much fun. Carvery would like to know, is the movement the same as in BL3 or different? And I kind of already answered this a little bit earlier, but again, the movement in Wonderlands, at least to me, felt almost identical to Borderlands 3, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah. Coming in next we have North Bacon, who says, says, is Anointments making a return? And if they are, how is the bonus looking like? Are they as strong in BL3 or weaker? And to answer this, Anointments are indeed making a return, this time in the form of enchantments unlocked at level 15. And so far, they all feel like they have been globally turned down as compared to their performance in Borderlands 3, so thank God for that. But again, I haven't seen them perform at endgame, so I'm not sure I can 100% confirm this, but yeah, in my experience with the Anointments, or again, enchantments in Wonderlands, they seem like they've been rebalanced, which is a good thing. Spartan says, Atlas/Maliwan gear present in the game, question mark? Well, it would appear as though Atlas and Maliwan are completely gone in Wonderlands. Atlas trackers, however, now appear to be built in as an effect on COV weapons, or as they're better known in Wonderlands, Skulldugger. Lucy says, how common are the barrels in the game, and how bad are they to get hit by? Also, can water get affected by elemental attacks and then hit you? Well, Lucy, barrels in Wonderlands are a pretty nice feeling, honestly, which is kind of a shock. While their placement is rather oversaturated and at times annoying, the implementation of life barrels, which can heal and second wind you at times, is a welcome change by me. It also feels like the splash radius is overall a lot more turned down, but that could just be placebo. And as for water, the second part of your question, you can indeed be tagged by it if it's getting affected by a dot. And for the final question of the video, Anuki asks, do legendaries show up on your minimap when they drop, like Borderlands 3? And they do indeed. You can also toggle off the map symbol, which is cool, much like you can in Borderlands 3, but what's even more interesting is that this time around, Nuki, the map symbol has been updated to be more minimalistic and less intruding on your screen, so I think that's pretty nice also. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for all of the questions that I'm going to answer for today. There was a lot of them, spanning over 50 different questions with more sub-questions inside of them, but I just simply can't answer all of them, unfortunately. I would have liked to, but so is life. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this answered some of your questions and maybe put some of your concerns at ease. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.